Have you ever wondered why the tiger at the zoo paces back and forth all day? It's not just restlessness, but a sign of something more sinister, zoochosis. This term might sound unfamiliar, but its impact is profound. Zoochosis is a mental illness that affects captive animals, leading to repetitive and unnatural behaviors. These behaviors, known as stereotypies, range from constant pacing to head bobbing, and are a stark contrast to the behaviors of their wild counterparts. In the wild, animals are free to roam, to hunt, to live as nature intended. But in captivity, their world is reduced to a tiny enclosure, and these once vibrant creatures are left to a life of monotony and boredom. This drastic change in lifestyle can cause severe mental distress, resulting in zoochosis. Zoochosis, a silent cry for freedom etched in repetitive rituals, is a tragedy that many captive animals face. From the outside looking in, it's easy to miss the signs, but once you know what to look for, the silent pleas of animals suffering from zoochosis become all too clear. Imagine seeing a tiger constantly pacing back and forth in its enclosure. This pacing is not a sign of contentment, but rather it's an indication of deep-rooted distress, a symptom of zoochosis. The same goes for the elephant you might see swaying endlessly from side to side. This isn't a dance, but a cry for help, a manifestation of mental suffering caused by an unnatural, confined life. Or perhaps you've noticed primates excessively grooming themselves to the point of self-mutilation. This isn't a sign of cleanliness, but a desperate attempt to cope with the frustration and boredom of captivity. What about the bear you've seen biting at the bars of its cage? This isn't a game or a playful act. It's a sign of the bear's longing for the vast forests it's been denied, an echo of a life it can only dream about. And the bird, ceaselessly pecking at the mirror in its cage? This isn't vanity. It's a heartbreaking testament to the loneliness of a life lived in isolation from its flock. These repetitive acts are not just behaviors, they are whispers of a tale of suffering. They are the signs of zoochosis, the hidden suffering of captive animals. And now that you know, it's impossible to ignore their silent pleas for a richer, freer life. What pushes these animals into such a state of despair? The answer lies not in the bars of their cages, but in what those bars represent. You see, zoochosis is not just a product of physical confinement, it's the haunting echo of a stolen life. Imagine a world where you can't explore, can't play, can't engage with others of your kind. That's the reality for many captive animals. Sensory deprivation, a lack of social interaction, and unnatural living conditions all play a part in this tragic narrative. These creatures, born to roam free, to hunt, to socialize, find themselves in a world reduced to a few square meters. Their brains, designed for complexity and stimulation, are forced to adapt to monotony and stagnation, and so they retreat into repetitive behaviors, into zoochosis. Zoochosis is the result of minds yearning for escape from a life that has robbed them of their natural essence. The scope of this issue is as vast as it is heartbreaking. Across the globe, countless zoos house millions of animals, each one a potential victim of this silent mental epidemic. The true extent of zoochosis, however, remains shrouded in mystery, as the symptoms are often unnoticed or misunderstood. The silent suffering of millions remains a chilling mystery, a testament to our collective neglect. Is there a way out? Can we offer these animals a life that respects their natural instincts and needs? The answer lies in the heart of animal sanctuaries. Sanctuaries are the antidote to the poison of confinement, providing a haven where animals can experience a semblance of the wild. With spacious enclosures and species-specific enrichment activities, these sanctuaries challenge the mind, engage the senses, and nourish the spirit. Imagine a bear, once trapped in a concrete cage, now free to roam in a forested enclosure. Or a primate, previously isolated, now part of a vibrant social group. This is the power of sanctuaries. The cure for zoochosis is not a bigger cage, but a life that mimics the wild as closely as possible. It's about freedom, respect, and a commitment to the well-being of our fellow creatures. But the fight against zoochosis doesn't end at the gates of a sanctuary. It continues with each one of us. By supporting animal sanctuaries, we champion a better world for these creatures. By spreading awareness about zoochosis, we shine a light on the hidden sufferings of captivity. And by choosing not to support zoos and animal entertainment attractions, we take a stand against the exploitation of innocent lives. Your voice has the power to break the chains of captivity and end the cycle of suffering caused by zoochosis.